episode 43. 43. I'm sure it's 43. If it isn't, it isn't. It's been really good being back on here. Last time when I was doing the podcast, there was a bit of an attachment to the expectation of feeling as though I had to show up every week and provide content. And especially when it's these type of podcasts, it's about not necessarily a topic, it's just sort of whatever comes up. So there was a part of me there when I was doing it before, that there was an attachment of always having to show up and feeling expected. And if I didn't, then the ego would creep in and tell me some stories, where this time around feels really good. I attempted one last week. It was funny because during it, I was not present. I could just feel myself trying. And that's the point of going, stop trying. Like these type of podcasts, you don't try, you just speak about whatever comes up. And I know when it's not, if it feels scripted or if it feels not authentic, not in a bad way, but just in more of a staged way, which those podcasts are great, and like having questions and getting guests on and stuff like that. But the reason why I called it the Matt Gamble podcast is because it's me, and it's exactly whatever I'm moving through in that moment, which is the only thing that's real for me. But it's been nice. The last couple of weeks had a lot of good feedback. Some people opening up about sort of what come through for them, and so it's good. It fills up my cup. That's the reason why I do this stuff, is to be able to provide and be an active service and bring up my stuff and whatever's going on in my life, which then will reflect a mirror back to people, whatever they're going on in their life, or whether they've experienced something they haven't unpacked, or, some sort of resonance as to what I'm saying, even if it's just a feeling beyond the words, because, it's actually, a thing that the words are actually irrelevant, what I'm saying. It's a feeling that you get from listening to the words. So yeah, it's been good. The last couple of weeks have been really good, really soul-filling. Really nice just to get on and not be attached to anything, the views, how long it goes for, what did I say, how will it land, so it's really nice to be able to get back on and just speak my truth as to whatever's coming up, which will probably segue me into what is actually coming up. What's been coming up for me is that when I stick true to my practices that keep me aligned with my truth, I can access a part of me that makes me feel alive. It makes me feel really present. It makes me feel good. And it makes me feel like I have control of accepting whatever's going on in the moment. And what I mean by that is, for me, it's my meditations are a must, or at least 5 days a week. No porn, which that has been a thing that's like, you cut that, how real you can get, and nothing against it. It's just a numbing defect. I know when I do it, I'm not present the rest of the day. I can't look people in the eye. I can't hold meaningful conversations based off feeling. I just get into this, this little funk, not a funk, but I just know that I don't feel as good as I can, and it's just that fake release of, you're thinking, oh yeah, like a little kid doing your thing, and then, well, not a little kid, but you do your thing, and then it's like, now what? And then for me, I think because I'm very in touch with how I actually feel, knowing that when I cut that, I get very, very, what's the word? I dive deeper into my truth, and I'm coming from a place that I like to come from, and I know by, doing all that stuff, it just doesn't keep me in that nice place that I like to be. And it's hard when you're not there because you know what you feel like. And I know it stemmed back to that. So skip that. Got rid of that this week. I was like, right, which has been good. And also just being very mindful of social media. I know I've done a couple of episodes on porn and social media in the past, and those are the two massive things that they just rope you into this way of not feeling present. Like so being very mindful of my phone. Just checked it before, and then I'll check it again tonight, and then I'll have the day off. So the gap during the day. I was doing that before, and fuck, man, I was feeling so present. It was like a feeling that, you can't describe or even put into words. This feeling of just awe, like, and it was from that, being very mindful of social media. Check it once in the morning, check it once at night, and then not jacking off to porn. Like two things for me that you have control of, and then it gives you control and confidence in every part of your life. Well, for me anyway. So sticking to my practices and going back to making sure I stay disciplined with them and take action and stick true to knowing that these things make me feel good has just put me back into that nice place I like to be. It gives me confidence to be able to do podcasts. It gives me presence in conversations, gives me more energy to be able to provide into more meaningful things, which obviously are my girls, most important, my 3 girls that I get to, embrace and enjoy morning and night with, and just, more presence with Janae. And just feel more, rather than numbing myself or feeling, doing things that will numb me for a little bit, but then afterwards you're just left with this feeling of lack, which is obviously social media and also porn. When I kick them to the curb, like I just feel fucking great. So and it just shows that, finding the practices that align with you, that keep you stimulated and keep you present, it just puts you into this beautiful place of just being yourself and accepting whatever's going on. There's been some really good movements the last couple days with some things that are coming, which has been great, which was nice because when I realized that I was revisiting old habits, then I kicked them to the curb and then all this stuff started happening. I could actually feel it for what it was and get excited and feel into what's coming and where I'm at, and, feeling grateful for the girls and grateful for where my life is at and whatever else is going on in the moment. And a beautiful moment that was on Saturday, the 2 girls had their dance concert, and the last couple of dance concerts, Indy's got on stage and then just got stage fright, and it's like such a heartbreaking feeling being in the crowd and feeling so helpless that you can't get up and grab her, and you can just tell she wants to run off stage. And it was twice it's happened, and it was just more and more difficult. And then we sort of had the chat, and Janae's like, she's gonna go to this one, and then just having the conversation with her, and during the last couple of weeks about you're going to get on stage, how do you feel? She's like, Dad, I'm going to get on stage. Mum, I'm going to get on stage. And then us just having dance parties in the lounge room and doing our thing, and just sort of building that confidence up a little bit. And then on Saturday I had work, and then shot straight over to the dance concert, and I just had this feeling of like a little bit of anxiety coming through of like, I just pray that like, she just doesn't I'd rather her not get on stage at all than get on stage and then just freak out. And it was such a beautiful feeling. She got on stage and she rocked the shit out of a dance concert. Like, she danced a little hard out, and it was such a beautiful feeling to watch. She had her cousins out there. She had Eden out there as well, and they all started dancing, and like, it was like a moment that just stood still for a second, and I don't ever think I'll forget that, because it just, this feeling come up of just knowing that she overcome that fear and danced a little hard out multiple times. She had 3 songs, and they're on stage, and Eden's dancing, and you know, she like waves from the crowd, like we wave from the crowd, and she's like sees us and smiles, and just like she's looking around and just in awe of being on stage and in front of so many people, you know, and it's just like, yeah, such a beautiful feeling. Look over, my old man's got a tear, which was beautiful, and you know, we walked out, and yeah, it was just like it was an euphoric feeling that will, it's still rubbing off, like in a good way. Like I can just feel it still in me when I can visualize and picture her on stage, or I'll watch the video or whatever, of just watching her overcome that confidence, or that fear of getting on stage and performing, and then getting off stage and just being like, yeah, just so happy that she, you know, did that for herself. You know, our kids are our biggest blessings, and you know, biggest bundles of joy, and it was a very soul filling feeling on Saturday to be able to watch her overcome that, knowing that last year, and I think the year before, or maybe the middle, yeah, last year and maybe the year before, that she got on stage and then just went nah. Where this was like, she was rocking it. So very proud parents, very, you know, watching her shine as the star that she is, and you know, that's what it's about. Like that to me was like everything. I was like, nothing else matters. You know, that feeling watching that, I was like, that's everything right there. You know, Eden just picked up on Indy's energy, and she rocked it as well, bopping away. So yeah, that was real nice on the weekend to be able to be a part of that, and watch her shine. And that's the thing in life, you know, we either come from, you know, a place of love or fear with everything, and you know, to have all that stuff come up, you know, and sort of segueing into being adults, and you know, like, I don't know, going to try a new class somewhere, or you know, going to the movies by yourself, or like, I'm saying to go to the movies by myself because I want to go again, but I gotta wait for a good movie to come out. But like all those things, like just like go to dinner by yourself, or you know, you go put up a post, or you whatever. Like you straight away, the fear of judgment comes through. From, I'm assuming most people, it does for me. um, and when you can actually overcome that, it's such a beautiful feeling knowing that you felt something that you wanted to do. Straight after that, the mind will kick in, and the ego will tell you 1,000 reasons as to why you don't do it. What are they going to say? What are they going to say behind your back? Are they going to look at it? What are they going to like? Are they going to like it? Are they going to see it? What, like, you know, all that stuff that comes up. Well, I'm not going to say for everyone. I'm just going to say for me, because that's all I can speak on behalf of. And then you do that thing anyway. Fuck. That's the feeling of reward. That's the feeling that you went with a feeling. You overcome all those thoughts that told you that you can't do it, and then you did it anyway. You know, and it's that quiet little voice that goes, just have a piece of that cake. Just have a little slice. Just, you don't have to go to the gym today. Like, roll over. You're gonna get like, you know, sleep in a little bit. You know, maybe get some food tonight, bro. You deserve it. You know, and all that little stuff. Like, just go rub one out, bro. You'll be right. Who cares? You know, it doesn't mean anything. Go check Instagram. Go on. There's something on there that means more than this moment right now. I guarantee it. Go check it. And that little voice always just is it's non-stop. So it's there for everyone, you know, but in your soul and deep down in your knowing, you know what's right. You know what feels good. You know what's real. And it's sticking true and staying disciplined and consistent with those things that keep you feeling alive and making you know that. Because that's the thing, I read a quote the other day. It was like, whatever you do, just don't lie to yourself. I think it was Jim Carrey that posted it. And I was like, fuck, that is good. That is a deep, real, cheeky one-liner. And it's true. Whatever you do, don't lie to yourself. Because then you have to live with that. But then living with it is easy because you just block it or suppress it, or you just move it to the side and you go, oh, who cares? Like, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm here. Like, whatever. Like, it's all good. It's like, yeah, but does it feel good deep down if you're going to break underneath all of it? It's like, no, you know. For me, like, you know, with the social media, I'd use 1,000 excuses. Like, oh, you know, I've got 5 Instagram accounts I work under. Like, I've got to, you know, check them all and make sure everyone's responded to, and there's no notifications, and you know, you got to post. You got to post. You can't not post. You know, and like, you know, and through this development on this journey, it's like, if I don't want to post, I won't. I'm not going to be attached to the identity of thinking that I need to show up as somebody. That's the killer right there. Everyone's got these little identity things that they want to show the world through, especially social media, that amplifies it. Like, yeah, business is doing great. Yeah, I'm, you know, got all this and that, and I need to be seen as this. And it's funny because when you attach yourself to the identity of showing up as something, it just creates so many more variables to the outcome. You want to get across to someone or you know, everyone, that you are a certain individual, and if that doesn't meet your quota, whatever that means, you know, whether it's likes, responses, whatever it is, to give you that satisfaction of feeling seen, and you can't maintain that, for one. But 2, you can't stay consistent of keeping up with that facade, because sooner or later the cards will fall, you know. And it's a quote I use. It's like, let the cards fall, because when they do, the real you's shown. And you know, these days it's very difficult for people to just be themselves, you know. And that's why this podcast was called Matt Gamble Podcast, because I was like, I can't name it anything besides that, because if I do, then there's a part of me that needs to show up as that. Like, if I called it the Positive Podcast, then I'm attached to being positive, where it's like, there's only a couple of episodes back, I was talking about all the fucking bullshit I've been through this year. Like, that's real. That's what people want to hear. People aren't going to get anything about telling everyone life's full of rainbows and fairies and you just got to love everyone and, you know, just work for the universe. The universe will provide all. And, you know, yeah, there's facts. In my life, there's facts. I believe in the universe. I believe in good karma. I believe in moving with good intentions no matter what. I believe in staying as true as I can to myself and don't lie to myself, and speak my truth as much as I can, and, you know, don't lie and don't judge, and all that stuff makes, like, it does work. Like, it provides more peace in your life. But I forget where I was going with that. Fuck, that was a bit of a tangent. Oh, don't you hate when that happens? Yeah, maybe just back to that little voice that goes on. Everyone has it. Well, I think people that I speak to, that I bring it up, and they're like, oh, I have that too. I have that little voice that goes on and tells me that, you know, I need to do this, or I can't do this, or whatever. But when you can start to drop into who you are and love who you are and be proud of who you are, knowing that you are doing your best, for one. 2, you're moving with good intentions. You know, you want to be the best version of yourself, and, you know, the higher self, or, you know, the higher self is probably the one that I use the most. There's a version of me that sits above me that I know that I can strive to when I stay true to who I am, stick to my practices, and then I work from that energy. That energy of my higher self gives me an opportunity to create whatever I want, you know. And in life, I think we need to understand that we can have whatever we want, you know. We can create and manifest and build whatever it is that fills up our cup, you know. And it's very easy for the ego to turn around right now and say, oh, that'd be right. Like, you know, easy for you to say, or whatever it is, but it's like, it's actually true. When you can find something that you absolutely love to the deepest part of your core and utilize that as fuel for you to stick true to going, you know what, whether it's, even if I didn't get paid for this, I would do it, you know. And finding that deep sense of purpose of what fills up your cup, it just brings in this euphoric feeling of like just knowing that you are doing what makes you feel alive. You know, for me, it's being an act of service, you know, with them, the life coaching, the podcast, the G3, it all stems back to me being an act of service for people, you know. And it's funny because it was only like a month or so ago I was thinking about it, you know, having the gyms, having the podcast and the life coaching. You know, the gyms is very physical, obviously, and mental. You know, mentality, discipline, hard work, you know, you're striving to look better. You want to feel better about yourself, all that stuff. And then the, you know, more so the podcast and more so the life coaching, I should say, is more the spiritual and emotional part of us. And, you know, we are, you know, we've got 4 cups: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And it's cool that, you know, both, all 3 of the businesses provide, you know, water for each one of those cups, which I really enjoy. Like, I love G3. I love training people. I love pushing people. I love pushing them past their physical beliefs of what they think they can do, and when they achieve great results and all that. That has filled up my cup since day one. But then it's nice to be able to do something that isn't that. You know, not be the high energy, not be the push, 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 go, go, go. It's nice to sit and drop into a conversation with someone and break down whatever they're going through, or breaking down their self-limiting beliefs, or what they think they should do, or, you know, or whatever their attachments are, or whatever they're addicted to, or the identity that they need to show up as, whatever it is that they're going through. I just get such a thrill on being able to provide presence, for one, because I don't really go into a game plan of what they're going to get from it, and also 2, what's going to come up. It's not until we start on this journey that all this stuff starts happening, and it's actually like magic, because I sort of, every time someone will sign up to the life coaching program, in my head I'm like, and that's what I say, in my head I'm like, what can I do to provide service for them? And then my soul says, just roll with it and we'll show you. And every single time, without fail, something will arise, and I'll get this feeling, and we'll have this conversation, or something will happen, and the penny will drop. And when I say that, it'll mean like the light bulb moment goes off in these programs, and then they're just like, oh, fuck, this makes so much sense as to why I've signed up to this. Which is such a beautiful feeling. It was only last week I had one of my girls doing the program, she's just finished up, send me a voice message saying, like, you know, thanking me, and she, you know, and she goes, it's funny because I'm actually seeing someone now, and it's crazy to see my growth in 8 weeks through this program, because if I was seeing this person before this program, I would have been so different in the actual connection. You know, she goes, I'm very confident in who I am as a person. She goes, I know how to articulate my feelings as to who I am and what I want. I'm happy to be alone. I'm confident in who I am. I'm not thinking about what they're thinking about, which is a massive killer for a lot of people, of getting caught up in thoughts about other people's thoughts. Like, what do they think of me? I hope they think this. I don't want them to think this. Are they talking about this? All that stuff. And that's one thing that we unpack in the program. And it was such a beautiful feeling, because that was, to me, going, wow, because it isn't until you, like what she's done is she's revisited a relationship where, well, she's visited a relationship where she goes, if that was me 3 months ago, I know how it would have been, and I'm completely different now. And that just shows a level of growth in when you go inside and you start to unpack all that stuff that you've got, you know. And the program's fun. We don't, you know, whatever comes up, I've cried, I've laughed, I've, you know, brought up my stuff, you know, what it is just the truth. Whatever's going on inside, whether it's good or bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. And, you know, the program teaches people how to be themselves. Simple as that. Because everyone's got all these stories in their minds that we hold on to. And some of the stories are on loop, you know. How many times have you told yourself the same story? You know, for how long? 5, 10 years, your whole life, you know, whatever it is, and you've never said it out loud. And then we sit down, we have a conversation, and I always gauge the room. I always feel into like whatever's going on, and sometimes I'll drop first. They'll ask how I am, and I'll bring up my stuff, which is good because it opens the door for them to, like me, to be like, okay, cool. Now what's going on? What's your stuff? And then whatever comes up, and it's such a beautiful feeling when they can say something that they've never actually said out loud, and they hear it, and we might talk about it, and then from that point, it just doesn't come up again because we've unpacked it and we've moved it to where it has to go, and it's not in your mind. It's just send it back out where it come from. Because we drive in cars and we think about a random thing that happened 5 years ago that we did to someone, or you know, we aren't the creators of our thoughts. Our thoughts are just thoughts that come in. They just come from the stratosphere and bang, you know. And sometimes you're like, where the fuck did that come from? I get that all the time, and I'm like, oh well, I'm going to treat it like a passing cloud and just let it move across, because I'm only in this moment. That's the only moment that's real. So it's a beautiful feeling, you know, being able to do the life coaching, and it'll be amplified more in some time. It's just where my energy is going at the moment. Has to be at certain areas, and it's just a feeling that I know. You get a feeling of when you know your energy has to go, and yeah. But I absolutely love it, and like I said, back to that passion thing. I'm passionate about that. Like when someone's sitting across from me and they've just unpacked something that they've sat with for 10 years, and we can actually put it away. And then 2-3 weeks later, they're like, you know, I have not thought about that once since then. And I used to think about that every day. And like that soul feeling to me, because I'm like, fuck, I was a part of that. You know, I don't like the whole, you're a podcaster, you're a life coach. You know, I'm me through and through, whether I'm in a one-on-one coaching session, I'm in a G3 session, I'm on a podcast. It's like, I'm just me. Like when I travel out of that portal to all my other different things, it becomes so effortless because you're not trying to be something. You know, that's where a lot of people get caught up, and there's a lot of energy that gets put out when people are trying to be something. Like, I just want to be this to show people this. Like, just love me, see me, like my photo. Come on, I need this. It's like, bro, you just need to fucking love yourself. You just need to be proud of yourself. You just need to stop lying to yourself. You need to just know that you are it. You know, people are out there, social media, wherever, trying to do the thing to get the thing. It's like, bro, you are the thing. Be it. Shine from it. People want to see the truth. When someone's authentic in a room, you can feel that energy and it vibrates. And whatever that person does, it's irrelevant. They might sell toothpicks. It's like, fuck, but they're true in who they are. They rocked, they dance to the beat of their own drum, and they know who they are. And a lot of people out there don't know who they are. But you got to understand, have compassion and empathy, knowing that not everyone is going to discover who they are, and that's completely fine. Everyone's living their own life. I think I touched on it an episode or two ago. We've all lived this, we've all had our own life, and no one's had the same life as you. So how do you expect for people to believe what you believe, or want to do what you do, or unpack whatever you've unpacked? It's like, that's why I always come back to who I am in these podcasts, wherever I can, and just speak about my truth about what happens to me, you know, and because I can't tell people to do things if I haven't experienced them. Like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. If you've gone through that, then you just got to just leave it. It's like, bro, how the fuck can you tell someone to leave something if you've never experienced it? So what I do in that circumstance, go, well, I haven't experienced that, but this is where I've experienced, which might be something along the same path of whatever feelings they're moving through with that, you know? And it's like owning that rather than telling someone what to do. I've never told anyone anything to do, you know? You just got to do this, this, and this. I'm always saying this is what works for me. You know, you've got to find what works for you. That's how you know who you are, is when you know what works for you. I know I've got to fucking meditate, because when I'm at the gym, music's pumping, testosterone's pumping around, you know, there's energy, there's music, there's banging weights, it's all this high energy stuff. So I need to go sit and meditate every day to bring myself back to planet Earth, because there's a lot of energy in that gym and I need that on a daily basis. I know I don't need porn. I know on social media I like to be on top of things and be on the ball, but if someone has to wait a day for me to reply to a story, then so be it. You know, the people that love you understand that. You know, you've got, and I don't know if it's because I have access to my phone all day. I don't actually have a job where I actually have to put it away for, 10 minutes or whatever, 10 hours or whatever. Obviously, when I work, I put it away. I don't need it. But like social media is very easily accessible for everyone anyways. It's not, I don't think it's just my job, but being very disciplined with that, going, you just fucking checked 2 minutes ago. Like what is happened in 2 minutes that you need to know about? Is it more important than this moment? No. Well, then what are you doing, bro? So that's what I've been doing. I go to grab it and go to check it, and it's just like a habit. You know, we all have habits. We all have things that we want to improve on. And one piece of advice I'll give, it's been half hour before wrapping this up, is that, you know what works for you. You know you got the little voice that just says, oh, just go have that piece of cake. Like, oh, you're going to train tomorrow. You go watch some porn, or just go watch TV on the lounge and sit around. Don't go for a walk. You've got that voice. And if you're still doing the shit that you know doesn't work for you, that voice is going to be louder. It's going to be like, oh, there it is again. Yeah, well, I've got to go do it because it told me to. I don't have control. The more you say, I know what works for me, I know what makes me feel good, I'm going to go down that path, that voice gets softer and weaker. It's like the little devil. It just slowly, you can see it from a mile away coming, of like, no one's at home, slap on some porn. It's like, do I need to? You can see it. You're like, nah, bro, I'm good. Like, I'm good. And then the voice of, you know how good it's going to feel when you have a crack with the misso again. Like, you know how good that's going to feel. So how about you wait for that and enjoy that? Or when you can start to see that voice of like, just have some, like, who cares? Just have a bag of lollies tonight. No one's going to know. Who cares? You're doing great, bro. And then when you start to go, no, because it doesn't make me feel good, and then it comes from a mile away, you can go, no, I'm going to stick to the food that makes me feel good. I'll wait and I'll have a cheat meal and I'll actually enjoy that rather than just being a little piggy during the week, So going back to you, or finding what works for you, sticking true to that, staying consistent, because when you can stay consistent, you build momentum, and that's where the momentum comes and the voice gets louder of the right things that you should be doing, not the shit things. And when you keep at it and you stay, disciplined, and you stay focused and you stay consistent, then that little devil gets quieter and your soul starts getting louder about what you should do. Like, and I know when I'm in razor sharp focus, I'm just like, bang, do that, move that. Yep, that feels great. Yep, moving, because it just effortlessly just comes, this energy, when you can stick true to what makes you feel good. Go for walks in nature. For me, it's like getting outside in the sun, making sure I meditate, being mindful of my phone, being present with the girls, being present and accepting of the moments that come my way, accept when things don't go my way, but also accept that if I feel like shit, then that's cool, but we're just not going to drag it on for 4 or 5 days because that just burns. And yeah, life can be very simple, but sometimes in life we make it complicated, which we're human, we're here to fuck up, we're here to learn lessons. I'm not sitting here saying that I've got it all sorted. Who knows? I might check my phone 3 times today, but I've just got to accept that I'm doing my best, and when you're not doing your best. Like I said, I'm staying disciplined. I've said it out loud, but you got to understand, if you fuck up, it's okay. We're human. We're here to fuck up. If life was all rainbows and fairies, I wouldn't have a podcast to be able to speak my truth, because I'd just be talking about how loving everything is. It's like, we learn from the shit. We've got to go through the shit, and we come out better from it. So don't know what I spoke about just then, but that was 35 minutes. Until next time, well, if you like this podcast, share, subscribe, slap it with a 5-star review. That just helps me get it out there. If it resonates, do your thing. Thank you for listening and be present with me. I hope this has brought some things to light for you. That's why I do these podcasts, is to shine some light on your stuff. And yeah, if you get anything from it or want to unpack anything or something come up, let me know. I love to chat. Don't hide behind the screen. I'm here to be open and transparent, and I'm here to serve as well. So love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, let's go.